How I was able to become profitable after 2.5 years of losing money from Justin Werlen. Let's review this video.
I kind of wanted this video to be more real, more natural, and just talk about some specific stuff that I want you guys to know about my trading, some hurdles that I was able to get through over time.
Tell us how you became profitable.
How I was able to scale, and just a little bit about my journey, and just kind of share with you guys some knowledge that I would like you guys to have as well. So started trading freshman year of high school, ended up losing money for around 3 years, lost around $25,000-$30,000 in those first 3 years.
So he had access to $30,000 at the age of 20. Just for context here, okay? Just for context. $30,000 of spending cash, essentially, at the age of 20.
Ended up becoming profitable. The first year that I was profitable, I made $330,000. The year after that, also made another $300,000.
He says he made 300 grand. Where's the receipts? Justin, where's the receipts, man? You got a broker statement?
Talk about some struggles that I had along the way that I think a lot of you guys can benefit from. During my first 1-2 years into trading, I was like a lot of people that get into the trading space. A lot of the time they're on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, looking at a lot of other traders. And at that point, you have to be very careful. I cared more about being perceived as profitable than actually being profitable at that point in time. Because I would go on Twitter, I would go on Instagram after a day of being read, and I would look at social media and see all of these people who are making money, and I would look at myself and say, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I do this? Am I not good at
Comparison trap.
I started caring more about that idea of just being profitable instead of actually being profitable. And especially when you're constantly looking at social media and you're looking at all these YouTubers and all these traders, some of these motherfuckers, and you want that feeling. And I cared more about being perceived as profitable. So what would happen is I would make the same mistakes over and over and over again.
That's such a easy trap, especially for young people, right? As you get older, you give less and less fucks about what people think about you. But I remember being 20 years old and really caring what people thought about me. This is toxic for trading.
I wouldn't take any accountability before because I had a vision in my mind of me being profitable without actually being profitable. And that was
okay, and that's a really huge reason as to why it's dangerous to put value on your perception, especially when you're new. Because as he said, lack of accountability. And accountability and responsibility and integrity and being able to count on yourself to follow your own rules is literally what makes you a great trader.
The problem. I cared more about people perceiving me as profitable than actually being profitable, and I ended up cheating myself because of it. So the people
he's being honest here, which I really appreciate.
That are on social media, you are normal. Do not compare yourself to other people.
Yes.
Every single person is on their own journey. Everybody is on their own step.
Absolutely
you
true.
Cannot compare your step 25 with somebody else's step 250. You guys are on completely unique journeys. You guys have completely unique experiences, and there is no reason you should be comparing them whatsoever. So
excellent advice.
The main thing you should just be focusing on is, are you doing what you need to be doing? Because it's so easy to get caught up in looking at social media. You want to post, your winnings. You want to be like, oh, look at this.
No, don't post your winnings. Don't post your winnings. Don't even think about posting your winnings. Forget about telling anyone anything. Just do your work.
Look at this money I'm making. Just don't cheat yourself. Do not post stuff just because you need validation from other people. And that was the problem I had. Is very early on in my trading, I didn't get validation from my parents, anybody that and this is also why I say don't tell people that you fucking trade, because I
agree with that. Do not tell people that you trade.
My parents were like, you should be doing this. My friends were like, what the fuck are you doing? So anything that was outside was completely negative. And when I went into the market and I was losing, it felt fucking terrible because I knew that I was losing when everybody else told me that this was gonna happen, and it just pissed me the fuck off. So I cared more about getting that validation from somewhere else than actually doing the work to be profitable. And it took me probably
if there's 3 words that bottom line this, it's do the work.
Year for me to sit down and realize that was an actual problem, for me to take full accountability, push my ego to the side and say, why do I care more about this than actually make? Number one, before I started trading ICT, because I started trading ICT.
Okay, he trades ICT concepts. Shocker, didn't see that coming.
After I started trading. And during that early time period, my first year, 2 years, I was more trading supply and demand, just shit concepts that just did not work. But the experience was good because I was able to lose money, which is honestly a good experience to have as a trader. You need to learn how to lose money.
It's a requirement to learning as a trader.
You need to become desensitized to it. That's just a part of trading. And that's also a part of scaling as a trader, because recently I was talking to my community and I also did a post on Twitter about it. But how I basically go about scaling and how I was able to get to that mark where it's like, Justin, how did you go from just unprofitable to $300,000 a year? How is that even possible? And it has to do with how I was able to scale Number one is being completely
By the way, he says he made 300 grand. Where's the receipts? Justin, where's the receipts, man? You got a broker statement? Anyone could just say they made 300 grand or 100 grand or 500 grand or $500 million. Where's the proof, man?
unattached to money whatsoever. The switch of what made me unprofitable to profitable, the biggest thing where it's like, Justin asked me, like, what was your aha moment that made you profitable?
Let's hear it.
The biggest thing I could say, number one, it wasn't one specific thing. It was a lot of things, working.
That's honest. If he tried to convince you it was one small trick and everything changed, then you know he's full of shit.
Together. But it was not a strategy. It was not an idea. It was simply a mental shift. Okay. And that mental shift is most of you care more about the idea of making money than actually making that money. And actually making that money comes from building good habits and actually trading well. So when you go into the market focusing on making money, all of what happens is completely out of the window. All of the actual process itself is out of the window because you're not focusing on the process. It's just like you go into the gym with the mindset of, I need to get a six-pack, but you're not actually doing the workouts to get a six-pack.
Okay, so again, do the work. Do the fucking work. And what he's talking about, at least the way that I would put it, is execution over outcome. Are you looking at your behaviors or are you looking at the outcomes? Two very different things. Whether or not you're managing that trade properly. Are you exiting early? We call that premature ejaculation, right? Are you panicking out, in other words? Or are you holding to that profit target? So you gotta look at your execution. These are all things filed under execution. Making money is an outcome that happens over time from executing well over time.
You're going into the market with the mindset of, I need to take a trade and it's gonna make me money. And in reality, that mindset you need to have is you need to not give a fuck about money, losing it, making it, whatever. You need absolutely no attachment to it whatsoever because money has really nothing to do with trading whatsoever. Money has literally nothing to do with trading. Trading is about applying a system with risk, with habits that are going to control yourself over time and have a longevity, structural foundation that can protect you over time. It is not.
Okay, so I say the three things you have to do right in order for that trade to have the highest chances of working is your entry, your profit target, and your stop loss. And you gotta have rules for all those three.
Not about money. It has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with you being a decision maker and applying.
It has something to do with money, but I see his point.
Is you become more focused on the outcome than the actual process itself. And when you're not focused on the process itself, how the fuck can you expect to get to the outcome? You're mental masturbating on your fucking self, thinking about, oh my God, how much money I'm gonna make without actually doing the things you need to be doing to get to that point. It's ridiculous. And it's not ridiculous because, it's ridiculous, but I fucking was doing the same thing.
Yeah, and I've done that as well. We've all done that.
Keep that in mind.
It's a trap, right? It's the outcome trap. It's the being attached to outcome trap. You don't want to be attached to outcome. You want to be very focused on your process.
Do not be focused on making money because the biggest part about scaling, and if you do want to make money, if you really want to make $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, $1 million, when you get to 6 figures to 7 figures, you need to have a complete disconnect to money because when you start working with that level of size is when your emotions can go out of control when you're not in control of yourself, right? And a part of getting to that point in scaling is getting to the point where you're comfortable with whatever that size is and you're comfortable with losing that money. And it becomes a lot easier when you're comfortable with losing that money when you've already been consistently building the habits to be disconnected from it in the first place. So one thing about scaling that I was talking about on Twitter earlier too is the way that I go about it is I have a mental trash bin in my head. I pick a number, and then again, if you want to do big boy numbers in trading, this is how you have to do it. Pick a number in your head that you are comfortable with fucking lighting on fire in cash. Say that's 20 grand, 10 grand. Again, this is if you want to scale, if you want to get to like big boy numbers. You have to be so disconnected, meaning whatever that money you are risking in the first place when you up your size is already fucking gone. Lit that shit on fire. If I was to tell you, dude, $20,000 just got stripped from your account, you have to be okay with being like, all right, I can make it back, whatever. That is the level of disconnect you have to have. So
But that won't happen if you're executing your strategy consistently according to your rules and procedures. If you have risk management protocols in place, if you're journaling your trades, if you're making sure that you're executing your strategy well over time, even if you make mistakes, you just get back to your strategy. He's basically saying you have to give zero fucks about money. Why would you be in trading if you didn't care about money? Anyone who's trading wants to make money. So I think it's a fantasy, Justin, to think that anyone in trading is going to give zero fucks about making money. Because why the hell would you be trading in the first place? If that's the case, then go, finger paint or something. Just go finger paint or learn breakdancing, or take up crochet. Okay? Like some old lady. Obviously, we want to make money, dude. My take on this would be to care less about money. Care less and care more about your behaviors and your execution.
When I go about scaling, I'll basically say, okay, I want to be trading 8 to 10 contracts, right? I want that to be my full size or whatever it is. And I'm going to say, okay, I want to be, getting comfortable with that size for at least about a month to 2 months. So I have to say, okay, if I was to have a bad month or a bad 2 months, what would that normal loss look like? So do the calculations. Look at the trades that you normally would take with whatever the normal size that you have is. Then put on the new size and test, okay, how much would I be losing on this actual setup? And then what you're going to do is you're going to calculate the risk, calculate the difference, and say, okay, if I was to really have bad losing days in a bad month, in a bad 2 months, how much money am I losing that is in my trash bin? So for me, I'm saying, okay, 50K. I'm good with 50K. We're in my, not a whole account, but 50K worth of that I'm willing to lose in that scale period. Because if I'm scaling, I need a period of like 1 month where I need to get comfortable with trading that. And I'm willing to put 50K on, and I'm...
Okay, I don't like this because it's a mental exercise, right? I don't think you can do this through some sort of theoretical exercise and just pick a number and force yourself to be comfortable with it. I don't think that's how it works, man. Well, in psychology, it's called progressive desensitization. It happens progressively. It's not just something you kind of pick a number because you want to be comfortable with that number and then you will yourself into being comfortable with that. You just will your way into it. Your nervous system has to kind of get used to it over time.
And that's gone. Because basically the benefit of doing that is what you're doing is when you go into sizing up and you actually get to that point where you press the button and you see your P&L and you're looking at, oh shit, normally my loss is like $2,000 and now it's fucking $6,000, $8,000, right? Now you have to get to a point where it's like, okay, I need to realize what this is. And number one, you shouldn't really be jumping that much size anyway. You should.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Like 1 contract at a time, 2 contracts, right? So the size difference shouldn't be that big. But you want to get comfortable with it. And this is honestly more talking about scaling to bigger numbers, not like micros and stuff. This is honestly more psychology for scaling bigger numbers. But get to a point where you're able to comfortable with it, but you need a mental trash bin of cash where you understand that you are totally fine with losing it. Because
I do not subscribe to the idea of a mental trash bin.
it is being able to understand yourself as a trader, as a person, and understanding how that is going to affect you in your actual trading when it comes to your system. So when it comes to scaling, I pick a number, I'm okay with 50K losing, and I go into the trade already accepted that all that money is lost. So I go into the day right when I start and I up my size, I'm going into it knowing that I could lose like 50 trades in a row, and I've already, or not 50, but I'll say like 20 trades in a row, and I've already accepted I've lost like 50K, right? So right when I click that button, the new size does not mean any.
I don't agree with this section, so we're just gonna skip.
Oh, I overtraded. Okay, why did you overtrade? Let's say maybe you were down in the morning and you were trying to make that money back. Okay, boom, making money, problem. Oh, my problem.
He's gonna talk about journaling.
Was a big part as well, is journal like your life fucking depends on it. Like
100% agree. 100% agree.
on it. Every single trade that you take, you need to be asking yourself, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What do I need to fix? Because a lot of people too will come to me and they'll say, Justin, I'm at a break-even stage, right? For all of the people that are watching this that are at a break-even stage, this is what you need to be doing. How do I get out of the break-even stage, Justin? I'm gonna tell you right now. The way to get out of the break-even stage is journaling. Because break-even is a fantastic point to be. Because all it takes is one little change in your trading for that P&L to just continue to go straight up, right? You just need one little tweak. And a lot.
Not just one little tweak, but journaling's gonna have to be a part of it, right? 3 stages of trading. First, you start by losing money. That part sucks, but it's the first part, right? Stage 2, break even. Stage 3, making money, profitable, right? And you can't skip steps. You just can't. There's no way around it. I tried. Everyone tries. Everyone convinces themselves that they can skip steps. They can just skip the losing money phase, or they can skip the break even phase because they're tired of losing money. And once they get to break even, they're, oh my God, it feels so much better than losing money. And then they think they're just skip right to making money. But no, there's a step 2 called breaking even, and you got to go through that stage as well, and then you get to stage 3, which is making money. Listen, I don't even know how someone goes from losing money to getting to break even without journaling in the first place. So I started journaling from day 1. How in the hell are you learning if you're not journaling?
A lot of the times what I find with a lot of students that are at break even is most of the common problem with people that are break even is the only thing holding them back from making money is they just take unnecessary small losses. They'll have like great win, and then they'll take like 3 shitty trades with like low, and then it'll just chip away at that profit, and they just can't control it.
We call that death by 1,000 paper cuts.
And that's a problem that you only get to see from journaling. Because without you actually taking the time to acknowledge saying, okay, this is the problem, right? I need to actually assess saying, hey, this is the problem. I know this from journaling every single fucking day, right? Without you doing that, you're never gonna know your own personal problems. Again, trading is fucking you versus you. There is no one else that is going to make the decisions for you. There is no one else that's gonna tell you what your problem is unless you go to a mentor, unless you come to me and you say, hey, Justin, let's look at this journal. And I'm gonna say, okay, let's go through this together. Let's figure out what the problem is and we can figure that out. But unless you have a mentor,
He'll tell you. Justin will tell you.
You need to do the work because it won't do it for you. And then you make the same mistakes over and over again saying, Justin, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? It's because you aren't taking the actual fucking decision to change the problem. Most of you know what the problem is. This is the overall bigger problem. Most of you know what the problem is. You just don't fix it. You just don't fix it.
I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that. I don't think most people know why they're losing. I think most people are, it's called a blind spot, Justin, right? If you look into this, It's called a blind spot. It's called a scotoma, right? It's something that you don't know, right? And I just don't think people are lazy. I don't know what he's arguing, that people are lazy or dumb or something like that. I don't believe in that. I think that if it's a blind spot, you can't see it. That's what a blind spot means. And it is extremely difficult to discover your blind spots without objective feedback from someone else. So if you don't have other traders in your life that you can go to and talk to, I wouldn't even in a million years understand how you could do that apart from screen recording your trades. I screen record all my sessions, and I think that's a really, really useful tool, because if you screen record your sessions and you have a losing session, you can go back and you can see exactly what you did and why. Even more valuable than journaling in some cases.
Fix it. I'm sorry to say, you just don't fix it. You want to know why you don't fix it? Because you're fucking focused on making money. That is why you don't fix it. Because you are focused on making money every single day that you come into the market. You're like, oh, just check my Twitter. You know, we're bumping fucking house music. I'm looking at all this shit. I'm ready to get money. I'm ready to...
What is he talking about? We're just gonna skip over that session.
Environment. It needs to be, you need to completely reprogram yourself. You need satisfaction from building good habits. That is what you need. When I wake up now, and where I'm at as a trader after so long and after getting to this point, I could give less of a fuck how much I make, how much I lose. Because guess what? Over time...
Because he has mentor students.
He
charges money for coaching.
The rules, the habits, the strategy in place to protect myself and make me money in the long run. And guess what? You want to know how I got to that point? Because I programmed myself to get satisfaction out of doing what I need to be doing.
Great advice.
If I make money, but I broke all of my rules, I'm going to say, Justin, this money is not fucking yours. Why are you happy that you made money? If I lost money and I did everything I was supposed to do, traded a great setup, great risk, everything I was looking for, A+ setup, I'm gonna say, Justin, that was a fucking fantastic loss. Let's go. Because I did everything I needed to do. That is what got me success. That is how I was able to be successful, because I programmed my mind to get satisfaction from building good habits, not making money. And when you're focused on not making money, you are actually focused on the fucking process and not the outcome. Guess what? What happens when you're focused on the process? You get the outcome. Oh my God, isn't that...
Not always.
That fucking wild.
So condescending, dude.
And this goes with every single thing in life. If you are focused on finding love...
Yeah, okay, I see your point. Let's move on.
You should be sitting in front of the market for 5 hours straight and not take a trade if you know what you're looking for.
A little bit condescending. I guess some people like that style. It's not for me. I'm not sure why he's so angry. But Justin, good advice, man. I don't know about the receipts though, right? Like if you're gonna claim you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars year after year, where are the broker statements, man? You know, this is a real problem. No one's gonna say, hey, where's the proof? Subscribe for more videos like this. Catch you in the next one.